Dawn, I don't know how much you know about cryogenics, but it's a business which has been going for quite a long time, very big in America. I once interviewed a guy who was running a cryogenics laboratory where many, many people had gone to him, paid $30,000 for the privilege of having their body frozen in the hope that sometime in the future they would be brought back to life and they could live in the future.
So let me get this straight. There is actually not the science in place at the moment that means this can happen. So you go along, you hand over a lot of money. And you die, and then you're put in a giant freezer type thing. And then to be kept in this giant freezer, your relatives, I'm assuming, have to carry on paying until the science develops.
Yeah, I don't know whether
or is it a one-off payment?
I think it may well be a one-off payment. I'm not sure. Why don't we find out from Tim how it works in Cryonics UK. Tim, very good morning to you.
Hi there.
Thanks very much for joining us. Have we got that loosely correct, or would you like to make any corrections?
No, it's quite wrong, really. Essentially, it's just a giant experiment. People sign up to an experiment. They're not signing up to a business proposition. They're very clear when they sign up that it may not work, but they have a choice. They can sign up and maybe they'll succeed, or not sign up.
Sorry, which bit of what we described as wrong then?
The bit where, the relatives don't keep paying. It's a one-off fee.
I didn't say that.
Okay, no, I was asking that question, so I don't know.
I corrected that. I think you'll find.
Yeah, a big chunk of the money actually goes into a trust fund, which maintains the patients long term. That's part of the reason it costs quite a bit.
How much does it cost?
Oh, I was going to ask that.
Well, it starts at about $30,000 up to $200,000.
$200,000.
It depends on which package you want to take.
So why don't you give us the cheapest and the most expensive?
Well, the cheapest cheapest case we've ever done was £28,000 all in.
And what do you get?
The most expensive one I've ever heard of was $250,000.
Okay. So what's the difference?
£200,000.
What's the difference? If I got the £28,000 package, what do I get for that?
You get a standby service, which is our charity job, which is basically we sit by the bedside, wait for you to have cardiac arrest, then we put you onto life support, cool you down, carry out the blood washout and the preservation solutions, and ship you out to the States or to Russia, and then they do the preservation, and that's all in. That is the cheapest case that we've ever done. It obviously can be more depending on exchange rates.
Is that the whole body, or because I mean, you can just freeze a head as well, can't you? Evidently,
you can do head only. Some people think that it's not necessary to keep the broken bits. After all, the main purpose is to just preserve information. So you need DNA, you need personality memories. That's all in your head.
Right. Somebody's asked me this in the past, Tim, and I don't know whether you can tell me. If you were, say, for example, suffering from some kind of terminal illness, like you were dying of cancer, would there be any point in preserving the body with the cancerous cells, or would you be better off without that?
It's a matter of opinion, really. I mean, the principle is that in the future we're looking at nanotechnology to solve these problems, which is essentially creating either mechanical or biological systems that go in and do the repairs. So effectively like biological systems now that make you better when you're ill, except they'll be engineered. So you could go in and fix these things. But some people suggest, why bother if you're that clever? Just start with a new body.
Well, indeed, yeah.
Yeah, can I have... I'd like Elle Macpherson's, please, when I come back. If I just put my head on there, that'd be fine, if that's okay.
Which Elle Macpherson body do you want? Do you want the one she had now, or the one she had when she was 25?
Well, if we get frozen at the same time, now she's not too bad.
What about the $250,000 cost? What do you get for that, more than you would get for the $28,000?
Well, a big chunk of that, over 100k, goes into the trust fund. So that's basically putting more money aside. So if essentially you've got a safer fund. The smaller fund that you get with the cheaper service obviously is more exposed to financial risk in the long term.
So who's the beneficiary of the trust fund?
What happens?
Well, the trust is basically there to look after its patients.
Yeah, but there's no cost, is there, to keeping you dead, is there?
Yeah, liquid nitrogen costs money. Buildings cost money. Yeah.
Right.
So it's maintaining...
I mean, it's a fantastic business, this, Tim. I mean, my question...
It's not a business, though, is it?
Well,
it's
it is.
a charitable pursuit.
Well,
why do you think it's a business?
Well, because you're charging people quite a lot of money, right? And
I'm not putting any money in my pocket.
Well, you don't get paid?
No.
Well, why do you do it?
I'm a volunteer, and I actually probably spend more money out of my own pocket than...
So you're going to tell me that if I was to give you $250,000 to preserve my body...
I don't get to keep any of it.
I wouldn't get... you would be spending all of that?
No, most of it would go to the service provider in the States, which are either non-profit or charity status in the States. And and we would get our expenses for the work we do at this end.
Okay.
And if you're
you do get
not
some
a regular member, if you're not a regular member, there's a small fee of 5,000. I say small, relatively speaking, small fee that goes into the charity.
Yeah, but why? I mean, what I'm sort of doubtful about is why you have to be a charity. Because charities don't pay tax. Well, charities don't pay tax, do they?
Well, we don't make any profit, so that's kind of irrelevant.
Well, it's not irrelevant at all, because you tell me you don't make any profits, but I haven't examined your book, so I don't know that for a fact. I imagine there are people in the United States...
Luckily, we have a regulator, and you're not the regulator, so you obviously don't know.
No, I don't, but I mean, also, you believe that in transparency in economics, I'm sure, and you were removed from charitable status, right, because the Charity Commission said it was a mistake to make you a charity.
Yeah, and obviously the judge disagreed with them.
The judge has disagreed. The judge has disagreed, but I don't understand how a business like yours, albeit that it doesn't make any money. Well, of course it's a business.
No, a business is an activity carried on for profit.
No, it's not.
This is a research program that involves money to make it work. A bit like a hospital, for example.
Okay.
Right.
Well, hospitals are businesses too, you know. It's only in this country that they're treated as if they're not.
Well, exactly. They're not. They have charitable status here. And
the NHS is the NHS.
We're a charity too.
The point is, Tim, is how much of your 28,000 that you collect goes towards your research?
Well, this is where it gets complicated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it all depends on the exchange rate. So an amount
exchange
of it,
rate.
So $28,000 would go to the States because that's your storage fee.
Uh-huh.
Then we would probably spend another 15 or so on the expenses of actually carrying out the standby, the shipping, and etc. And then 5,000.
And nobody makes any money out of that. So when you move a body,
obviously,
nobody makes any money.
If you have a third-party service provider, for example, an airline carrying out shipping, they make profit.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to pay. So you have to pay them.
Obviously, we have to pay the airline for shipping. They're not a charity.
Right, and presumably you have to...
But that applies to a hospital. You go into a hospital, the people that make the instruments make money. That's their job.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I don't object. I don't object to what you're doing, Tim. I think it's a brilliant piece of business. I think it's fantastic. You can convince people.
It's not a business.
I know you keep saying that, but I mean, it is a business, and you know very well that it's a business.
Because the judge said so, and the judge knows a bit more about it than you do.
Okay, well, there's no need to be objectionable, Tim. I'm just trying to find out what it is that you do.
You're being objectionable, I'm afraid.
No, I'm questioning what you do, Tim.
You're trying to suggest that the judge is wrong, which makes no sense.
Well, judges have been wrong.
They have been wrong.
Judges have been wrong, Tim. You know, they don't always have every single piece of wisdom in the world. Sometimes people appeal. And it might not be.
If the judge was wrong, the Charities Commission will appeal to the next level.
So Tim,
maybe they will.
If you are a charity, how many donations do you get from the general public? I mean, do you get a lot of people donating money to you?
We have about 50 regular members who pay a monthly donation.
Right.
And obviously, people who are not members give us £5,000 towards our ongoing costs.
Right, okay.
Because it's not really fair that I suppose we'd like to be able to offer it all for free, but we just not on a scale where we can.
Okay.
So we have to collect a fee, and that is normal. I mean, you go to the National Trust, they charge you to look around the houses, don't they?
Yes, they do.
But if you want to look around a house, if you want to look around a house, Tim, you don't go to the National Trust and say, where is the house? And they say, oh, we haven't built it yet, but give us the money now anyway, which is effectively what you're doing.
No,
it is.
You're not. I'm not paying. I'm not collecting money to return you to life. I'm collecting money to carry out
the body,
the stabilisation and transport.
Mm-hmm. See, this is where it's genius.
And the judge clearly stated that the end costs of storage and reanimation are nothing to do with our charitable status, because that's not what we do.
Yeah, but this is why it's a genius business, Tim. I'm trying to give you a compliment here.
It's not a business.
I know you keep saying that, but it is a business. You're collecting money from people who expect...
businesses are conducted for profit. It's not.
No, they're not. Well, tell that to John Lewis and Partners, who've just lost 99% of their profit in the last year. They're still a business.
Well, that's just a bad business, isn't it?
Oh, but it's still a business, though, right? So profit is not...
intention that counts.
So profit is not actually the definition... No, profit is not the definition of a business. You are running a business, okay? You somehow managed to get yourself charitable status, and I'm very happy for you, Tim, and I'm very glad that you're doing what you're doing. But I don't know why you can't accept the compliment that it's a genius idea, because you're effectively selling, ice to the Eskimos.
I'm not selling anything. Look, if you came
right,
to
so
me
if
and
I
said,
give
should
you...
I sign up for Cryonics, I will say, it's not my choice, it's yours. And if you choose not to sign up, I'm quite happy for you to die and be buried. It doesn't really bother me.
That's a bit harsh.
Tim, how many Brits have you had sign up for your service?
Well, we've got 50 regular pay members, but in the UK there's over 100 people with a contract with a service provider in the States. So
right, okay. And the only storage is over in America, so you have to go and be stored over there, sort of thing.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
Okay.
Have you got an office I can visit, Tim? Have you got an office I can visit?
No, we don't make enough money to pay for an office, unfortunately.
So where is Cryonics UK registered as a business then?
Well, a charity by definition is just the sum of its trustees.
Yeah, but does it not have to have an address?
Yeah, it'll be the trustee's address, and that is what it is.
So you don't have an office?
No, we don't have an office.
Uh-huh.
Right.
What about the people you deal with in America? What do they have? Do they have an office?
They have a huge building, yeah, where they keep their patients.
Patients.
Well,
they're not really patients,
dead,
are they?
Really, aren't they? So
they're dead bodies, aren't they?
because what you're confusing is the definition of legal and clinical death with information theoretic death, which are not the same thing.
All right, so can I talk to these people who are not dead then?
I have no idea what he just said.
No, but also you can't talk to anyone who's in cardiac arrest, but they're still not dead until you say they are dead.
Uh-huh.
Right, okay.
And they also, even when they're declared dead, they still haven't suffered information theoretic death. The person is still there.
So when you transport these people, you're not transporting dead bodies then?
Only in a legal sense.
In a legal sense? Well, that's kind of the sense we all have to deal with, isn't it? I mean,
no.
if you say to the airline, right?
That's the sense that the law deals with, but it's not the sense that science deals with.
What about the airline?
That's why you have CPR.
Well, what about
when somebody stops breathing? They're still not necessarily technically dead.
No, I know that, but you're not.
Dead.
Yeah, but hang on, Tim. You can't perform CPR when they get to America and they come back to life, do they?
No, we do it before then.
No, but they're not alive, are they?
Down.
They're not alive.
They're not legally alive.
No, they're not alive in any sense.
But the person who's had a heart attack isn't clinically alive either.
That's not true.
Yeah, I'm afraid it is.
No, it's not.
Death is cessation of vital signs. So if you have a heart attack, even if you come back 10 minutes later, you've been dead for 10 minutes.
Right, so the people that you're transporting to America, are they dead or alive?
They have suffered information, or they haven't suffered information theoretic death.
I'll tell you what, I think I'm suffering information death.
They're legally dead.
I'm not getting any information.
No, they are legally dead.
They're legally and clinically dead.
Do you have a death certificate for them?
Yes, we will have.
So they're dead then?
You
can't get a death certificate if you're not dead, can you?
I don't know. Sometimes it feels like it.
I could probably get a death certificate for someone who's resuscitatable. That's quite simple.
Really?
Because
you know a lot more about this business than I thought you did.
It's not a business. So, for example, when you're in hospital and dying of cancer, in theory, you could be resuscitatable when you have a cardiac arrest.
That's true. That's because you're not
resuscitate.
Yeah, but that's because you haven't been declared dead yet.
No, but what I'm saying is they have a do not resuscitate order, and the reason is the reason they have that is because they are resuscitatable. So, in other words, we declare them dead when they're still resuscitatable.
Yeah, but you're not. If you have a resuscitatable corpse in front of you, which is not dead because it can be resuscitated, it's not dead. Simple.
But it's clinically dead, and it can be declared legally dead.
If it's dead, it can be declared legally dead.
I'll tell you what, boys, I'm losing the will to live here. Full stop.
No,
can I go and visit? Can I go and visit the big building in America? That's what I want to do.
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to have a.
Does he have to be dead?
Do I have to be dead?
No, afraid not.
No. You see, he's turning nasty again. What about letting me in for a guided tour? What do you reckon?
Yeah, no problem.
Could I
have to book?
Could I follow? I mean, could we do? Because here's a great idea, right? I'm full of these great ideas today.
Oh God,
could we do a documentary on the next body that you transport to the US of A? Could we film it?
You'd have a slight problem there because one, the hospital will probably say no.
Which hospital?
The relatives will probably say no, whichever one we end up in.
All right.
And
would you mind?
Will say no.
Well, would you
mind?
You
won't get anyone's consent.
Would you mind trying to see if you could get some of them to consent for us?
Well, after this conversation, probably not.
Why not?
You're going to be a pain, aren't you?
Why am I going to be a pain? I'm just I'm looking for information, Tim. I mean, I could be a potential customer of yours. I don't think you should be talking to me in such a rude manner.
If you look hard enough on the internet, well, I get what I get. Or give what I get, should I say?
You give what you get, or do you get what you get?
Yeah.
You don't know, really, do you?
Yeah, whatever. No, I don't know. I'm clueless. If you look on the internet, there are actually videos of cryonic preservations.
But look,
if you look hard enough.
If this is a charity, which it quite clearly is,
Mike,
it's been established as a charity. In any case, if is a charity, Tim, then obviously surely people would be very, very happy to have the whole process filmed and made as a documentary because they want to raise money for the charity.
Yeah, true.
Well, you mean in the same way that everybody wants their funerals filmed? I don't think so.
Well, my funeral isn't a charity, though, is it?
Funeral's not a charity.
No.
Funeral's not a charity. Also, they're not dead, so they can't be having a funeral, can they?
Co-op funeral services is a charity,
Co-op is a business.
It's a non-profit.
No, it's a business, though, isn't it?
It's a co-op. That's what co-op means.
But it's not a charity. It's not a charity. Tim.
No, but it is.
But it's a non-profit.
It's a business.
Very similar characteristics.
It's a business.
Anyway.
I win. Tim Gibson, thank you very much indeed. Spokesman for Cryonics UK.
I wanted to ask him how close they were to actually reanimating the people that aren't dead.
That's tremendous. What a great business.
It is a brilliant business. It's a charity.
It's not
it's a charity.
It's a business.
Of course, it's a blooming business.
Yeah, these guys are fantastic. I mean, imagine convincing somebody in a pub, right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to give me all your money, right? And in about 45 years' time, I'm going to bring you back to life and give you the money back because I'll have kept it all in a trust.
Well, exactly. But this has been going on. Cryonics UK has been around for probably 30 years now, a long time.
Well, I remember interviewing the guy, and it may be the guy he's associated with in America, who's got all the bodies.
Yeah, and that was a while ago.
And people are paying 30 grand a head, if you'll pardon the pun, to freeze themselves, only in the hopes that they're going to get reanimated because they're not technically dead.
And all these years on, they're still not technically dead.
It's brilliant.
But
it's a fantastic ruse, really.
It's...
You've got to take your hat off to Tim and his mates because even though, as he says, it's not a business, he's doing pretty well out of it, I'd have to say. Even though he makes no money.
No.
Somebody's making money. Somebody is making money somewhere. I kid you not.
Yeah.
I don't think there's charitable organisations that should be charities. Why should they be?
Well, this certainly shouldn't. And the Charity Commission have said...
I think the judge has got it wrong.
The organisation is not and never has been a charity and therefore should not be registered. And that's a Charity Commission. And you'd like to think they know what they're talking about.
Christopher has tweeted in, can you just clarify, is it a business? No! This is Talk Radio.